Hello, welcome to this new show of the Alex Show TV. And as you can see, we have my very good friends, Jeannie from Australia and Tony from London. Hi, guys. Thank you for this chat
Alex.
again.
Hi, Jeannie.
Thanks. Hey, guys.
Always, no. Always a pleasure to have you guys. And today we have a subject, we have a topic that Jeannie suggested. Rules of man. Is that the title?
Or man-made rules.
Man-made rules, sorry about that. Man-made rules.
Yeah.
So, Tony or Jeannie, who wants to start?
Jeannie's the star.
Oh,
She's the
Jeannie, she starts. Great.
Yeah. So,
All right, Jeannie.
yeah, I guess since we're born, we're thrust into a world of man-made rules. Even at school, as soon as you go to school, you have to, like, even simple things like lining up before you go into the classroom. Why? I mean, it's just a control thing. You're not allowed to leave school grounds at lunchtime, say, without special permission.
Mhm.
Even not so much laws, but warnings about everything and announcements, like even on the train, even in the quiet carriage. Lately, like for the last few years, you just get pounded with all these announcements. When the big flu was around, you get that announcement every trip. But they have these automated messages saying, oh, you know, next stop is so-and-so, this is your station, prepare to disembark. No, like I'm just going to sit on the seat and stay here. It sounds trivial, but then they'll have messages about, please remember to take your personal possessions with you, or Queensland Rail, care about your health, you know, use the stairs carefully. It's just bang, bang, bang all the time. And then the train conductors will say, oh, the next station is so-and-so. Yeah, the robot just told me that, you know.
Yeah.
And even in the quiet carriage, it's just constant. And it never used to be like that. Like, no one had to be told the train is pulling up to the left-hand side of the station. Yeah, we can see that. You know, it won't let me out the wrong side anyway. So I guess I mean, we're legislated death as we know, right? Even things like in church, say, if you don't kneel down at certain times, you sort of feel guilty. And then it's a sin if you don't go to confession, say if you're a Catholic, right? All these rules that to me are not necessary at all, but they force you to do. Well, if you believe in sin, you believe that you're a sinner if you don't have confession, right? It's just a bombardment of constant, don't do this, you're allowed to do this, but you can't do this. And we all know that all the fines, like people can't even sell fresh milk. It has to be pasteurized, just for one little example. So we're sort of free, but not free in that way. When these things come into your life and stop you just going about your everyday life, that's when it becomes really intrusive. And of course, some rules are great, like traffic lights and, you know, all that common sense stuff. But
yeah.
So, what do you think?
I'll carry on from there. I've got, you know, what's that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's they need to keep you in an infant state of mind, like a child state of mind. And what I mean by that is, if you let someone free and do what they want to do without interrupting them, they might come up with their own conclusions and, you know, develop strategies for life that are not what the system wants. So you have to keep bombarding you with their ideas and their little restraints and their little constraints to keep you mentally in their little tunnel. So it's like a verbal tunnel. Stay on the left. No, move a bit to the right. No, go a bit higher. No, lower. Right. Constantly telling you where to go. And that atmosphere of being dictated to all the time, it can affect people if they're not aware to become in a infant state, like a child state. And I saw something recently about music. It was, I think it was Mark Devlin. He spoke about music being the 432 hertz music frequency was more harmonic to the human body, but they used the 440. And he said a lot of the music goes back to Adolfo, what's his name? Adorno, from the Frankfurt Institute, and he was talking. He was a conductor or a composer, and all the music he created for the Beatles was to keep people in a lullaby state. It creates a lullaby effect. So you're like, it kept in an infant state, the music. And he said everything nowadays, if you look at it, it's got the same la 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 la. There's melodies that are used that keep us in this state. So if you're out and about and you listen to any music on an elevator, in a lift, in a shop, added to the verbal, keep to the left, do this, next stop this. It all has the effect of keeping us from developing and becoming an adult, a grown-up. So yeah, you're right, Jeannie. That is a bombardment, isn't it? Yeah, and it's important what you're saying. It's a good topic. Yeah, mate.
Good way to look at it, Tony. I think,
Yeah.
Sure. What you said about the frequency, mate. 432 is the resonation frequency of the crown chakra. The seventh chakra. Yes. So what will happen if music was tuned, because it's a tune? It's not really that 432 is all the frequency. It will be the same note sound all the time. Is the tuning of the guitars, the basses, etc. That they shifted 8 hertz to another harmonic 440. I personally, I could be wrong. I know 432 for sure is the frequency of the crown chakra, the seventh chakra. Very important chakra. Connection to spirituality, very, very important. But 440 is like nothing. More than creating a problem, it doesn't resonate. Yeah. So they could easily, if the music was tuned to 432, you will get a constant resonation, a constant stimulation of the crown chakra. They want certainly, I'm totally sure they want all 7 chakras totally asleep, without resonation. So that's the story I heard about 432, 440. But in YouTube, you can find a lot of 432 music and 268. Those are different frequencies for the different chakras. And also other things. For sure, they're going to do that. For sure, that's their trick of, something that is good for you. In this case, make it neutral. Not bad, but make it that doesn't help you. As far as the topic on man-made rules, I do agree with you guys that some rules are, necessary. It's without that, we don't know how to behave, okay? And trust me, in Mexico, compared to you guys, Australia and the UK, there are rules, but they're not as respected, okay? One example is the parking spots of handicaps or handicapped people, okay? Here it's like, okay, it's the only spot, I'm gonna take it. There's not this maturity, because also here, you could be there for a couple of hours. They're not gonna, they don't have the people in the police and anything to put a fine or anything like that, like in other countries. You do that in the United States, you do that in the UK or Australia, I guarantee you're gonna get in trouble. Yeah. You get a fine, they probably take the car, and they also put points in your driver's license. None of that happens here. None of that happens. At the most, what the problem you could get is at the end, you'll give a little money to whoever is getting you in trouble and he's gonna let you go. Yeah. So, in a way, rules are very unfortunate. I wish they don't exist. I think they're not going to exist in better realities, but they exist in this reality because of our immaturity, because we are the ones that really need them, okay? Exactly. One example is also here, the one that is enforced is the one that you cannot put loud music after 2 a.m., sorry. Because we have people just having concerts at 7 a.m. in the morning that you want to sleep, and all night they had you, really loud. So they have to put that rule that after 2 a.m. you get a very hefty fine, and they are enforcing that because it was out of control. But again, you don't need that rule. It's people that, how could they be having a 4 or 5 a.m. party and not thinking they're bothering their neighbors, that they're keeping awake their neighbors? Okay, is that lack of maturity, lack of interest in the community, in the other one, that I think is very, very unfortunate. I don't know, what do you guys think about that, Ginny?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously a lot of rules come in because people are acting selfishly or they can't just be decent people. So,
Yes.
yeah, and obviously people complain to the police or whoever, so they're sort of forced to do something, you know. And this sort of begs a question from me, actually. If you say there were suddenly no rules about anything, you follow your own conscience, you do what you like. How would the human race? I think the really good people wouldn't change, but I tell you, I think it would. A lot of people do bad things, and I hate to say that, but I think it would, because I mean, bad people break rules anyway. They don't give a crap anyway from the get go, you know. But I don't know. I think it wouldn't take much for some people to. I was listening to there's a show in the US. It's an atheist show, and they have a panel of atheists, and people ring up trying to convince them of that God exists. Right? They never win. But this one guy rang up and he said, "Oh, well, if you don't believe in God, how come you're not out there murdering, raping, etc.?" And the atheist guy, he says, "Are you meaning to tell me if you didn't believe in God, you would be doing these things?" And the caller, he either said, "Well, maybe," or I can't remember, or "Why not?" And I just sat there thinking, what kind of a human being are you? You know, you would suddenly do these things just because God suddenly doesn't exist. And this, I guess, this is what I mean. Like, we need certain rules, of course. But part of me thinks, why do they warn us about so many things when, you know, the powerful people obviously don't care about us? Why are there so many warnings about this and that? Like, stay off the tracks. Well, I guess people don't want to be sued, right? I think that's a big part of it. But as I say, why give us warnings about this and that every minute when they don't care, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Tony?
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I mean, so many rules. But I was thinking, as you was talking, when you were saying that you would commit crimes and harm if you didn't believe in God. It's like we've got no built-in morality. I mean, of course we have. We've all known right and wrong. So to believe you can only be good and moral with a belief system that believes in a God is complete rubbish. It's like children are born innocent. Children know right and wrong. And generally they do right all the time until they get older and corrupted by the system. And also with these rules, it's kind of like, so who became in power? How did the people in power, and also the ones behind the power, get in power? Well, it was false, wasn't it? If you look at history, the winners write history. The winners are the stronger, or the more strategic, or the more in number, armies, or, you know, force. So they become the most brutal people, become the ones in power, and they become the ones that write the rules.
Yeah.
So if you see what I'm saying, it's kind of what a sick world that we live in. If the logic follows, the most brutal, the most ruthless, the most, you know, harmful and wicked people conquered the world and are still running it from the background, and they write the rules. And if they were a mentality of domination and keeping their power, obviously they're not going to write rules that help us. They're going to write rules that keep us down, keep us ignorant, keep us infantile, keep us weak, keep us sick. And it makes sense when you see it like that, when you see that the rules are made by the winners of the wars. And it's like they'll break your leg and they give you a crutch and say, aren't we good to you? There you go, off you get on with it, you know. It's like, or they poison you with their farmer. Go, oh, we've made you better now. And then a month later, you're sick again. And they give you some more pills. They're poisoning you, but they're saying, ain't we good to you? And it's the mentality of the rulers. They need to keep their foot on us. They need to keep us down. and sick and ignorant and ill-informed. So that's where I see the rules coming from. That's just my little observation. Yeah, the rules come from that type of people. And when you know that, you realise they're not looking after us. They're telling us they are, but they're not. So I think that's a real good influence on this conversation. When you know that, what is the influence behind the rules? Is it in it? Are they in it for us or for themselves? And
Yeah, I mean, obviously, sorry, Alex, just a quick.
No, go ahead, Jimmy. All the
Obviously-
time you want.
Obviously, the powers that be wouldn't be in control of every little rule, like a fine for parking in a handicapped zone, right? But the mere fact they have to bring in a law fining people for that, like, wouldn't common sense and decency say you don't park in a handicapped car park?
Mm.
You know what I mean? We bring a lot of this crap onto ourselves. We do, in a way, The little things like that, in my mind, there shouldn't need to be legislation or a law or a fine to do the right thing.
yeah, but it's taking us our money, isn't it? It's taking our money out of our pockets.
Oh, of course, there's always that. Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's the point of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never for our benefit, is it? It's never.
Well,
It always leaves us poorer or sicker.
Yeah. I mean, as people say, they fine us for or they charge us for breathing air. They tax us for everything else, so why not
Yeah, don't
give
give
them
them
any
ideas.
ideas? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You're right. It is. There's no need for the money aspect. You park in a space, you get banned from that shop for 2 weeks or something. There's no need to extract money, extort money from us as well.
Mm.
So, like I say, when you realise who is behind it all, the ruthless, they need to take money off us to keep us poor, to keep us immobile and at their disposal, not fit and proper and confident and strong and intelligent people. They need the opposite type of people, which is, and when you know that, yeah, the rules work to bring that about. I see. And it is, it makes sense when you realise what kind of people make the rules. Yeah. Being a cynic, obviously, I would say that.
Oh, well, I obviously don't have that much faith in the human race, do I? Which is sad. But isn't in Belgium or one of those countries, I heard that the tax was like 70% of people's pay. Like, it's just robbery.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous,
extortion.
But yeah. But once again, like, unless every single human being in the world decided to arc up, what can you do about it?
That's it. Unity we need.
Yeah, like everyone,
Yes.
And this is where when Alex was saying we're free, I took that as like a personal freedom or a spiritual freedom, because we certainly are not free in a lot of ways. And and when you say be in the world but not of it, is that correct?
Yes.
It's okay, but when you're just going about your daily life and you can't be free just to walk into a shop without being pestered for, tapping something or whatever. When it invades your everyday life, your physical life, is when you say, well, yeah, I'm not free as, and it even rules around a lot of cultures, or traditions. I watched this DVD, it's called Taboo, and it's about all the initiations that different cultures have. And one, I forget where they were, but they initiate a boy into manhood. That goes on a lot. They look real. They actually slash his back dozens of times with a bloody razor blade, and he has to lay there and heal for goodness knows how long. Just these bizarre, like a lot of those sort of traditions seem to center around torture or physical harming. Like, what is it? I could never do that. What is it with people?
That's crazy.
I guess that's their culture's rule, if you like. It's a type of
That's a rule, isn't it?
But no, just say, oh, you're a grown-up son, good on you. Pat him on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Why?
fascinating.
Why? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's disturbing. I think, and
We'll ask Alex. Why, Alex? Come on, tell
yeah,
us.
why, Alex? Why is it
Come on,
so?
Alex. You know. Tell us all.
No, no, I don't know. I
I
don't
was
know.
relying on you.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I wanted just to make a quick couple of comments on what you guys were saying. One was on the religious thing, and particularly the Catholic, Christian religion, all religions, I think, they play with our fear. I think they play with our feelings that uh, the answer of the atheists, you were saying, that if you don't believe in God, how could you be good? Well, one thing doesn't have to do with the other. Your morality is in you, okay? So you, as Tony says, and as you say, Jeannie, we know how to behave. We know what's good and bad.
Yeah.
We don't really need God for that. And actually, we put it on God. So when something bad happens, it's God's fault, and it's not. I do believe in the Creator. Okay, I don't like calling him God anymore because God implies a higher figure, which the Creator. He's at our level. He's like that. He's like a father. My father is not above me. He's at the same level as me, same as my children. Okay, but we tend to put God because of this exactly victimization, victim, savior, culprit, vicious cycle of I'm a victim and I have my savior and he's God. And no. And we tend to put all the bad in the world to the Creator, when it's actually our own morality that we don't follow it. Okay. So that person is totally right. The atheist, I mean, I don't need God to be good or bad. I know how to behave. Okay, that has nothing to do with God. And the religions, they tend to put the threat of hell, the threat of sin, the threat of something's going to happen to you. And that's not the way you should behave. Same as with rules. Yes, they're necessary because of our own immaturity, our own lack of evolvement. But they shouldn't be necessary. Like in a family gathering, it's not like you have to put rules there or a policeman. Everyone gets along. Everyone is good to each other within family and friends. Why? We are all brothers and sisters. We cannot do that with the rest of the world. It works in small communities that, in all countries, small communities, I'm talking really small communities, the policeman is a figure, is not needed, okay? No one is gonna rob, they have their doors open at night and stuff like that. When crime or something happens, it's an outside element that sees the opportunity, is passing through and says, hey, here. And the police is not prepared because exactly they have been taking cats out of trees and stuff like that and
Right.
responding to drones that they are not really belligerent or harmful. They're just, people that are drunk out there in the street and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what police do in very small towns. I mean, I'm talking 500 inhabitants, 1,000 inhabitants. We tend not to be able to transport that to the rest of the world. As soon as the city grows bigger, the element of the maturity and then those were rules are necessary. So if someone goes into your house, you say, what the hell you're doing? This is my house. Let me call the police. Because you're breaking a rule, breaking and entering, okay? And, and depending on whatever you do, I mean, if you do go all the way to kill someone or abuse someone or something, that several years or life in prison or something like that. That's necessary in this level of maturity we have right now. It's not necessary if we evolve as humanity, okay? So, Jeannie, what you have said, I'm with you. I'm not saying I trust this humanity we have right now. I trust the evolvement of humanity, okay? That we can be better, okay? We can be better. I'm not saying, better and bad is just a spectrum, okay? We can be less confused. We can be more mature. That, as you say, you don't do something to someone else and inside you that is wrong. Okay, there's no way. I'm hungry. I'm sorry that you're hungry. Let's find a way to get you to eat. But why are you gonna rob me, or why are you gonna kill me, or something? Just because you're hungry. Okay, we have to be better than that.
Yeah.
Does it make sense, or I sound crazy?
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess in Australia, countries like that, there's food banks, so there's probably some way for a starving person to get a feed, right? In some way without going to crime. I was going to say, one of the, people are going to do what they're going to do. Like I've noticed, like, given the train again, you can tell people don't want other people sitting next to them, right? And if I sit next to someone, you can feel them, creeping away, sort of thing. And one of the announcements is, please don't put your bag on the seat next to you. Consider your fellow customers. Yeah,
Sure.
right. Do people suddenly move their bags and put them on their lap? No,
Mm.
don't care about the announcement. They
That's
obviously
it.
don't want anyone sitting next to them, particularly these days. So it doesn't matter. You either do the right thing or you don't.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and that's the simplest example of being selfish, I think, you know. And you have all these people standing up, and there's plenty of seats. People don't want people
Yeah,
sitting next to them. Like, yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
selfish, isn't it?
the,
Yeah, you're
the
right. I think both Alex and you, Jeannie, are saying the same thing. We all know the morality of how to behave, and whether you've got rules or not, it still doesn't matter because people that don't want to do the right thing will break them rules.
mm,
And it's like in the family, like Alex was saying about if you've got a small community, your family and friends, you don't need the police, you don't need rules. We all know how to behave. It's like in if you think like of a concentric circles, like of like a ball, like an archery board with a bullseye, and then you've got circles coming out from the centre. It's like we did something in philosophy, which was the centre was the family, and that was where you were born. They were your parents and your siblings, and that was your starting life. That was your centre. That was your home. Then the next circle out was your friends and school. So you went to school, or you know your church if you went to church, your local people in your state or where you grew up, and that was your second circle. The next one out was national, so people in your city who you might meet on a day-to-day basis. Then the fourth one was national. No, national. I said national, but then it went out to global, and then even universal. And universal, the first love, it was love. So your love of your family, then love of your neighbours, your friends, your community. Then if you're developing in the right direction, it will be love of your nation and love of global love. So you know, like Gandhi, if you're evolved. And then agape was universal love. So it meant you were so evolved, no matter who you met, you would love them for who they were. You would understand them as, well, you're a human being, your conditioning has made you this way, I accept you as you are. And that's like highly evolved. And that bullseye concentric circle thing, we're still at the centre, you know. Most people are still in the centre. And anyone outside their family is a target or, you know, prey. Oh, yeah, they're not looking, we'll take the wallet, we'll burgle their house, do this. And we need to develop, as both of you to have said, the immaturity of not realising that we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get along together. And the more we focus on what the rulers are showing us, TV, video, you name it, newspapers, negativity, war, drama, that's keeping us in this immature state. It's keeping us infantile. Add it to the rules on the tube and on the streets and the shops and the music. It's like they've got their foot on us psychologically, you know? So we need to realise we're all in the same boat. Whether you're at home with your neighbours, your friends, your city, your country, the whole world, and universal. We're all part of the same source. We need to develop that in ourselves to, but like you say, it's like pulling a ball of wool, isn't it, of string, and you've got to take that with knots. That's your life. You've got to go along as you go, and you might find a knot, and that's an argument with someone. So you iron it out, and you get along with them, and then it's an ongoing thing. But I think we're all on the same page. We need to develop our own individual morality and do the right thing, you know, all the time. There's a saying, you're only as noble as your last deed. So if you don't continue it and be disciplined about becoming better, you're going to fall back into bad ways again. So being, you know, earnest in your path and not falling off the track, not getting into bad ways and disciplining yourself to be a better person. That's the trick. It's not easy in this world. It's not easy.
no, no.
But yeah, I would say it's the key, be honest with you.
I mean, what if everyone suddenly decided not to join any Army, Navy, Air Force? No,
Yeah.
no one is joining these evil, you
Yeah.
know, things. What I'd love to see that. What would happen then? That would be
That's
amazing.
what we need, isn't it?
Would they bring in conscription? Do you think people would accept that again? You know, I know certain countries they still do, like, you know, but
Yeah.
once again, it needs a worldwide pushback.
Mm.
To stop believing you're doing something good, like see through the veil of deception.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people still think it's heroic or
Yeah.
necessary, I guess, to go to war, or they still believe they're protecting something, you know.
Yeah. You're programmed, didn't they? Programmed.
Yeah.
So
So
really,
I don't think that'll ever happen.
you never know. Keep hope.
Yeah.
I want to say something about what Tony said on you're as good as your last deed. Was that the same?
Yeah, you're only as noble as your last deed.
As noble as your last deed. Exactly
Yeah.
right. You do good because you're good, because that's what your morality tells you, not because you got a prize or that opens things up for you, or that changes bad deeds you have done. So
No.
I remember I shared already in a movie, Inside Man, that this person worked with the Nazis in the Second World War. And I don't know how much he created, but he was probably responsible indirectly or directly for thousands or hundreds of people dying or whatever. So then he became very rich, and he said, I'm trying to buying back my soul since doing good deeds. You know, typical that, you know, giving money out in charity and building charities and stuff like that. That's never going to change it. If that's your intention, that's never going to change. Your bad deeds are your bad deeds. That's it. And you do good because you're good. That's not going to open heaven for you. And, you know, I used to follow this football player, American football player, really hardcore Christian, and he played for my team that I like. And he used to post a lot, like in Haiti, when the hurricane hit, or earthquake. Oh, we're here in Haiti helping children, and he would have people. So first of all, you have gazillion, hundreds of millions of dollars you earn. So you're giving a little money back, or you're helping out. You need to share it. And second, like he said, because this what takes us to heaven. No, that's not what takes you to heaven. And if you do good because you feel then Christ is gonna benefit you to go to heaven, then that you have it all wrong. Okay? If you're a good Christian, because what you're gonna get, you have it all wrong. You be good because you are good. And whatever bad you have done, you have to clear it out. You have to clear your karma. That's it. Nothing, there's no solution. You can do 100, 1,000,000 times the bad, and it's still gonna be there because you have to learn the lesson. It's learning. And you're not gonna learn it by doing good. You do good because you're good. That's perfect. But we have this kind of some zero system of saying, yeah, I do some bad, but I also do some good, and I give out some of my money, so I'm a good person. No, that's your opinion. Okay, that's your opinion. And that goes back to rules. Rules are not necessary. They're only necessary because we don't follow our own morality. If we follow our own morality, no rules needed. And we do follow our own morality with family and friends, okay? Because we care for them, because we care of what they think of us and stuff like that. But then with unknowns in another country maybe or something like that, then it's, you know, whatever is what I get caught. So a lot of people from the United States, they get upset in Mexico in the beaches when they're found with drugs, guns, doing indecent acts and whatever. And they say, what's the price? Mexico, everything's allowed. No, go do it back in your country. I mean, why do you come here and change your morality? Because it's a different country? Or it's because here you think you can get away with it? Because it's a whole different thing. If that's not okay, that's not okay. Okay, for example, they come to Mexico and some very sick, that's demonic, that they look for children, for example. And, you know, or they go to Thailand to do that stuff. I mean, but then in the United States, they could be pastors of a church. So you see that morality is not ambiguous. It doesn't work in a certain country. It's not by some kind of, you know, immorality is morality. It's wrong in your city, it's wrong everywhere else. And you perfectly know it's wrong. But then with like the pastors in Catholic Church that are found to do also horrible things with children is, they're demons, they have to exercise their demons. No, they don't have any morals, they don't have morality, they don't follow their morality. That's it. Let's not try to look for other explanations of it.
That's what it boils down to, doesn't it? Exactly. Oh yeah, you're right. It's such and they hide behind their costumes too, don't they? They hide behind their robes, the priest robe or the police uniform, the judge's uniform, the doctor's uniform. You know, they hide behind these uniforms, and it's almost like it attracts the worst sort of people because they seek power. For those that seek power, they're the ones that shouldn't have power. They're the last ones should have power. You know, if you're a good person, you won't need the police, you won't need the judges, the law, anyone else. But if you're a bad person, it is back down to the individual, totally. And like you said, Alex, it's about, oh, because you think you'll get away with it here in Mexico or in Thailand. Oh, so if you thought you wouldn't get away with it, you wouldn't do it. But if you thought you could get away with it, you'd do it. Well, that's you. You're a weak person. You're not a nice piece of work. You're not good. So, and I think this world exposes that kind of person in what they do. You just watch people, and like, I notice people when I test people. I see people and my friends, if they steal 50p, oh, there's a 50p on my table, and they come round, we're having a beer or whatever it was back in the day, and they take that 50p, and I notice it. I think I had a 50p there. It's gone. It has to be that. And I remember it, and it's like, I don't trust them anymore. It might only be 50p, but I've logged it, you know? And it's a sign. If they can steal something small, they can steal something big, like a house or a car or anything. So it's a sign of their character. If stealing is stealing, you know what I mean? So yeah, we need to look at rules. Rules are involved in it, but morality is the thing. Morality is, you know, I'm not perfect, but I mean, and I slip up all the time, lose my temper, argue, protest, whatever. But maybe I need to focus my energy more. Maybe I'm not as disciplined as I thought I was. Maybe rather than shout at the government or this company or that company, or, you know, protest people, work on myself. Maybe that's the answer. I keep saying it, but maybe that's it. The penny has to drop. But you can't ignore the world. You need to be in the world to a certain extent and play your part. So yeah, it's an individual kind of balancing act. I need to work on myself and be in the world. I need to do both. But discipline, and don't quit. Don't quit the right path. Don't quit on it. And choose the right company. You know, the people you hang around with affect who you are, because it rubs off. You know, if you're in the wrong crowd, it rubs off soon. It catches on you. So yeah, the rules are there, but who follows them? That's what I'm saying.
You might just going back to the God thing. It makes me laugh when people think they can, if they believe in God, do they really think they can trick him? Like, you know, I've done these bad things, but I'll give all this money to charity, and God will see that, you know, that fixes it. No, God's pretty clever apparently, so he'll be able to see straight through you, mate. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like even a simple example about being on the train. You know, I just sit there and just stare out the window and think about things, you know, and people observe whatever, and I just try to ignore. And they've even got videos on the wall going through all this stuff for you, just in case you didn't, you know, get it from the audio. Yeah, you just, there's no such thing as a peaceful train ride anymore, you know.
No.
But yeah, I mean, you know, you have laws, important laws that do help keep it safe, obviously. But many laws, as I say, we bring on ourselves. Like, for instance, if people stopped eating junk food, I know it's addictive, right? It's a very hard thing to do. But if they stop that, it'd bring down all these McDonald's, etc., that are poisoning us, you know. So once again, it needs a worldwide joint effort, and And I know personally, I don't think I need to love someone across the other side of the world, as in not romantic love, obviously, but all I need to do is not
No.
interfere with them, as Alex keeps saying. Don't harm them. You know, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Like even on social media, if someone's having a go at you, don't get involved with that. Be the bigger person, and I have done that in the past. I've gotten in some few fights, you know, but I've evolved from that, thinking, Skinny, that's just ridiculous. So yeah, just ignore them, whatever. Simple things like that. Don't get involved with, as you say, Tony, the wrong crowd, no matter where they are in the world, you know.
Yeah.
Stay away. Yeah. And just try to go through life without hurting anyone. Even if you give it your best, we all inadvertently sometimes hurt people, but not on purpose, you know what I mean? That's all that can be expected of you, I think.
Guys, we have gone like for 50 minutes, so
Wait, quick.
yes, it went quick.
Okay,
Do you guys have something closing? Jeannie?
I'll go in first. Jeannie can
Oh,
put the cherry on the cake.
yes, go ahead, Tony.
So I think, yeah, rules, really good topic. I didn't think there was much to it, but it covers it all of life. Car parks, tube, train journeys, supermarkets, everything. I think rules are made to bind us, tie us up, and keep us immobile, keep us in an infant state. I keep going back to that again. And it's to decapitate, not decapitate, make us lame. Make us lame in one day, not so much that we can't work, you know. Like Monty Python said, Life of Brian, I want to be a leper, but it's a pain in the arse. I don't want to be a leper all week. A bit lame in the leg, but so I can still beg, you know. But yeah, that's what they do to us. They keep us down. They keep us kind of sick and ignorant and needy and infantile. So the music, they play that all over the place. The rules, the announcements. And yeah, I think we need to smash that glass ceiling, you know, smash that. Just think for ourselves. Is that saying again? Every episode I'll come out with that. But become our own person. Ignore the rules. If it don't make sense, don't follow them. Have that commitment to not follow them. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Don't go there. And break out of them bonds that they're putting on us. And once we do break them bonds and think for ourselves and get on with doing the right thing, because most of these rules are not for the right reasons. Once we're free of them and find our own truth, we'll unite. Because everyone's looking at each other going, yeah, I agree with that. And those rules were a load of rubbish, weren't they? Yeah. Right, we're united now. Let's stay united. And it's for us to break those bonds, those rules, and see them for what they are. They're just binding us, tying us up. So once we get rid of them silly ideas they're trying to put in us, we can see straight. We can see clearly. And I think, yeah, that's my little piece, to seek the truth for yourself and don't trust anything that you're told. Be cynical, but positive. Yes. There you go, Jenny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well said. I was accused of being too cynical when I was trying to tell somebody my view of something, and this is the trap you fall into. People will start to say that you're cynical or you're this or that, but you know, I encourage people to not just take everything at face value or question everything. I think just question everything. I mean, look, no one can say the world isn't in a mess. People must see that, you know, it's pretty messy. So don't just believe things, question things. And if somebody says something to you, don't just shrug them off. Listen to what they have to say. It might be important. But that's my 5 cents.
Great.
Thank you, guys. Tony, anything else? No?
No, I'm happy. Good show. Thanks, Alex. Thanks,
Yes,
Jeannie.
it was a good show. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. If you have never seen it, please stay for the last 2 minutes of the show. Have a great day. Thank you, guys, again.
Is mate? Is that Jeannie?
Thanks.
See you soon.
Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient while others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from touching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you'd like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very